Friday. Right. We're looking ahead to the weekend already, and we'll be talking about some events coming up this weekend on our show, as well as lots of other things like tax assessment. Yeah, we've got a lot going on here on the show this morning, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. I'm Roger B. Welcome to the 2 best hours of local live talk radio. Thank you for listening. 102.1 FM or on our stream, Meridian, WLTMeridian.com, or if you just have our WALT app and you're listening to us, we'd love to, we want you to take us along wherever you are. And say hi to my cohorts. Here he is. He floated all the way in from Meehan. I mean, man, from Meehan. Wait a minute. That's a nickname. Mr. Rob Atkinson.
Hi.
Welcome back.
How are you?
Look at you. Took a day off. A little unshaven today. Kind of like
it was good just to turn the phone off. Just kind of.
I noticed you turned the phone off. I texted you 6 times.
Well,
yeah, I noticed.
I was taking only important phone calls yesterday.
Okay, that's all right.
It was a good R&R day yesterday, so you need those.
You do, and anytime you can just sit there and catch up on movies and empty a bag of Cheetos, that's a good thing, right?
Leftovers.
I like those crunchy Cheetos. They're just great. Anyway, so there you have it. It's you're here, and of course, welcome back to the man with the plan, Mr. Charles Frazier.
Good morning. No plan.
No nickname.
No nickname, man. No nickname. No plan. Don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
Than me.
You're too important in this town to give a nickname. We don't want to mess with that. You serve. All right. You feed Meridian. Actually, feed half the nation. They come through Meridian, they stop off and eat.
That's a lot of people to feed.
I know you're important. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, we're all important.
Okay, a new nickname then.
No nickname.
Sir Charles, Prince Charles. That's what we'll play. Prince Charles.
Ooh. No.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, you're offended.
I am offended.
Finally got you offended.
Don't compare him to that guy.
I'm taking that offense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're not giving it. I'm taking it.
Yeah.
So it's offense is really, and that's an interesting way to put it. The offense is oftentimes people they will take offense. They're taking it. You're not giving it. They're just choosing to take it.
Very,
whatever. I'm taking it there.
I guess King Charles. How about King Charles? Is that better?
I think Charles is good. So.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to be tied down to that royal family. Thank you very much.
There you go.
Especially that guy.
Yeah, those people.
What kind of Royal Charles? That's his
It's
name.
Charles Royal.
Charles in charge.
All right, Charles Royal. That's it.
Okay.
Hey, listen. Good.
We're talking about a hurricane.
Moving right along.
Well,
let's talk taxes.
Well, we're going to be talking lots of things, of course. Right. Tell us about our first guest there, Rob.
We're going to have Brandy Higginbotham on a little after 7:30. Big event coming up in downtown Meridian this weekend. It's actually going to be an all-day event starting Saturday morning. She's going to tell us more about it. It's going to go from the Max all the way up Front Street. So live music and a whole lot of other things.
Is this where the sheriff is going to be in a dunking booth?
Nice. Yes.
The sheriff is going to be in a dunking booth.
I hate to miss the sheriff's visit yesterday.
Yeah, but you probably thought it's worth it.
I wonder if that's the way to attract criminals. If there's anybody out there with some warrants or something like that, that might have a little resentment towards the sheriff. They might show up and then we'll just take.
There is one guarantee about this.
What's that?
He's not going to mess up his hair.
There you go.
Yeah,
true that. True that.
Okay.
Very well spoken. Mm-hmm. We've got a caller on the line. Our number is 601-485-9191. But first, I want to tell you about Trucker Supply. It's getting, Christmas is around the corner, or you might have a need of something right now, like a high-pressure hose that you don't have the right hose, and they'll just go down and make it for you. At Trucker Supply, they've got a shop in the back. You take them the length of the hose you need and tell them what it's for, show them the connections, and they will build you the hose that you need for that hydraulic line or what have you on your truck or piece of equipment. But other than that, they have a lot of things that you can go in and buy for Christmas.
Yes, they do. Christmas 90 days away. Wow. It's coming soon, coming fast. It'll be here before you know it. Trucker Supply is your one-stop shop for all your tools. Everything you need. They've got Kinepix tools like Channel Lock on steroids. And they also have the tool room. I mean, everything they make, Milwaukee tools. They've got all those cordless power tools, the saws, drills, impact drills, sanders, grinders, cutters, routers, screw guns, whoo, and more. I like the and more. A lot of those have those interchangeable batteries too, so use them with so many different things. And of course, Milwaukee, as we know, made right here in the state of Mississippi. I ought to call them Mississippi, but they're stuck with Milwaukee. That's okay. And of course, they've got Yeti. Everything Yeti you need make great gifts. I'm drinking my coffee, hot coffee, out of a Yeti mug right now. Of course, they got the coolers, the mugs.
You put it in there last night, didn't you?
Yeah, 3 days ago.
There you go. Still cost.
Still quite true, but whatever.
There you go.
It's advertising. And of course, they've got Yeti dog dishes. For Christmas too. That's right.
Yeti dog dish.
Truckers Supply, 519 Highway 19 South, right next to McDonald's, across from the mall. You know where they are. Go see them. Yeah. If you can, I challenge you to walk out that door without buying something. It's virtually impossible.
I can't take the challenge because I'll go in there and buy something.
Yeah, you will. I will be like, don't go in there and go.
That's it. Trucker Supply, good folks down there on Highway 19, right across, right next to that place that has the golden arches. I think they serve some food there. All right, but that's the way it works right now. We want you to also stay tuned because after we have a visit with Ms. Higginbotham, we're going to be visiting with Whitney Hodges, who is the acting tax assessor, running for tax assessor, and he's worked in the tax assessor's office for many, many years. And we're going to be talking about tax assessment. How's that?
And that's a big topic right now.
So that'll be in the 8 o'clock hour. So stay tuned. Great show up ahead. Don't go anywhere. Caller on the line. Good morning. How in the world are you doing?
Well, I come this morning out of all wisdom and knowledge.
All right, this is your Charles.
Wow.
This is Charles.
Well,
I'm leaving.
I just needed information. If you could please tell me where the water leak today, I would appreciate it.
It has yet to be determined. It's one of those mystery things. We're waiting for it, anywhere around.
It's kind of like a Where's Waldo
thing. It is. Where's Waldo? Where's the leak?
The one I saw running was on 18th between, Front Street and is it 4th?
Yeah, they fixed that one. So that's
not when I went by yesterday.
Well, when I went by yesterday, it was fixed.
Okay, all right.
So, which was later in the day,
18th
probably.
Avenue and Front Street, right?
Yeah.
Down by Planter's Supply.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Behind there, yeah, we're kind of. Yeah,
but they fixed that one, so it'll pop up somewhere else. There's new leak.
Oh,
where are you at? Can we get like a ward? How are we gonna do this?
My ward.
I got $10 on the second ward. Right?
I just want you to know that this is not a water leak in Chunkyville, but it got rainy last night.
Ooh, yes, sir.
Oh yeah,
I was leaking water.
My radio kept going off. Lightning was detected in your area.
A lot of it.
In the great words of the 20th century philosopher Annie Lennox, here comes the rain again.
But I love the song, listen to the rhythm of the falling.
Oh, that's a good one. Thank you for
reminding me. Fleetwood, was that the Fleetwood?
Listen to that was, I was looking for good rain songs, and that's a great one. Thank you for that.
Okay. You guys carry on. I'll be in the area all day. And drive your car in Trucker Supply.
Yeah, drive your car to Trucker Supply. Go see the car. Is that Trucker Supply?
Drive your truck.
Yeah, that's
over
great.
that.
Well, listen, don't run away yet because you I'm
incapable of running.
In tongue in cheek, you came to the font of all knowledge. Really, you are, sir, that very person, and you have a lot of good history, in Lauderdale County and all the rest. So, give us some good tidbits about the way things used to be in our community.
You check the mail. Well, I posted on Facebook one historic place that I used to visit, and I enjoyed Cupid's Delight.
Cupid's Delight was that?
That's right. Ice cream trees in a glass container. That's just awesome. It was run by Frida. It was
that's
Brookshire Drive, where McDonald's currently located.
Right there off of Highway 11.
The old Matty Hershey Hospital that's not there anymore.
Soon to be active sports complex.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, that was called Brookshire's Drive-In.
That's right. They had the wonderful hamburger, great ice cream, and I love the Cupid's Delight. I love to get that lemon ice cream too. I love that lemon ice cream.
See, that does bring back. I wasn't here. Hey, that was in business.
I was thinking it it was,
Great.
he
Great.
said Cupid's Delight. I was talking about my shoemates over there, but I had no idea where he was going with it.
No,
I know.
I live-
And I appreciate that.
I've seen the
Right.
guest. I've
Well,
seen the guest.
I
book.
have not seen that yet.
education if he learned about that the longer he's been in Meridian.
Yeah.
I've seen the guest book, and evidently our caller used another
Pseudonym.
name.
Yes.
He was not in. He was not in the guest book.
Well, we know who grew up in the area, so what can I say?
Mm. Well, I tell you what.
Cupid's
The
Delight.
mayor of Meehan.
I cannot confirm or deny if I'm in that book or not.
Well, I'm sorry that you missed the opportunity to assist Sheriff Morgan in shutting that place down.
Well, as a kid, Rob was delivering newspapers there, but they didn't have a newspaper subscription.
Well, I know he'll probably shoot me for this, but my cousin,
Oh my.
his mother ran a grocery store,
Yeah.
and he could tell you some stories about some of the deliveries he used to make in the area. And Moss Shoemate was not the only establishment between 65th Avenue and Highway 8.
Mm.
There were several places along there.
Yes, and I hear.
But I guess I better get out of here for a
Right.
Yeah,
But it sounds like you know a lot about it.
yeah,
Sort of it.
that's.
my uncle
Curious.
told me.
Oh, that's all. I heard it. Read it in the paper.
All right. Always glad to hear from Mr. Jay Slade.
Why
Got
is
some good
that?
information.
Why does that establishment always get brought up on
Huh?
this show?
Well, because it was it's kind
Part
of
of our history.
part of our history. It was the talk back then, and it's just kind of lingering.
Well, and now when was the check? 70s, 80s?
No, it was in the 90s.
Really? Yeah.
Whenever Solly became sheriff. Okay. I believe that's when that happened.
No idea.
If I'm not mistaken.
So we need to put a historical marker out there.
We do.
We get our state senator Jeff Tate on that one.
No, I can promise. And I
That's that one.
Yeah, I don't think so.
yeah. I'll swear on a stack of Bibles that I don't know this firsthand, but I've heard secondhand. We do have some establishments in town that are open for business.
Oh.
In town, which that's just
No idea about
that's
that.
rumor, hearsay, objection, Your Honor. Mornings in Meridian. Glad you're out there. 150 part of the show. 608-591-981. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey.
I would like to talk to Mr. Charles.
Uh-oh.
All right. I'll go to the break room. Excuse us, Rob, and I'll step away.
Yes, sir. You better step away because I got something to tell on you.
All right, we're ready. Go ahead.
All right, Charles.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to tell you something. You've never told the people your name. Now, this is somebody, Charles, that is 87 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And two, I want to ask you, do you really coming into the Meehan lunchroom and want the hot roll and butter? Do you really do that?
No, I don't think that I've.
Oh, I never forget you.
Now you tell
always
me.
do that.
Now you talking about Charles or Rob?
I'm talking to Charles.
Charles. Charles.
Now, and I'm going to tell you something else on Charles. He ain't never told y'all what his real name was.
Okay.
I'm going to tell him.
How are you going to tell him? All right.
His name is Robert Earl Frazier. Now, I know I'm the last person living
Mm.
that's working in that Meehan lunchroom.
Oh.
When he was down there, and he always came in and wanted a roll with those hot rolls and come out
Mm.
with butter.
Now you might be thinking about a Frazier that was in the restaurant business there for a while here in Meridian. That might be
I
another Frazier that you're
Yeah.
thinking about.
don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
Because we always call him Robert Earl.
Yeah.
Well, no, and that is different. That's a different person. My name is actually Charles Frazier, so I have no pseudonym or anything like that.
but I think I know who you're talking about.
But I think Robert Frazier had the. Isn't that right?
Yeah. Had
Yeah.
the checkerboard in the
That's
restaurant.
right.
Yeah. I think that's who you might be speaking of.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's interesting. See, you helped us dig out some
Yeah,
information
that's
about
right.
Robert Earl
I
Fraser.
wanted him to know that, you know,
Yeah.
that I'm the last one left that worked at Meehan Lunchroom
But now, where was the Meehan lunchroom?
at Clarkdale.
Oh, Clark. Now,
We
see,
had one at Meehan, but after the school was torn up,
yeah.
then all the students go to Clarkdale.
Ah, okay. Rob from Meehan is shaking his head. He agrees. He
Yeah,
understands the
I've heard
history.
these stories before. Yeah.
So the Meehan lunchroom was down at Clarkdale.
Well, yes, I
Yeah.
mean, it wasn't the Meehan, and the Meehan
Mm-hmm.
was torn up. They got the business. So
Now
I
you
worked,
worked in this lunchroom, evidently.
I did. I worked in that lunchroom for 2 years, and I worked in Clarkdale for 2 years.
Did you were you one of the ladies that had a hairnet on?
Oh, you have to have one on.
Uh-huh. That's
Right.
right. Yeah, in the lunchrooms, the ladies had a hairnet. That's right.
Sure they did. And if
Yeah.
K.O. Jackson came in there and told one about one, they were in big time trouble.
Who mercy. Now, I don't know if you're comfortable with this, but can you tell us at least your first name?
My first name is Louise.
Louise. Louise, I'm glad you called. I'm enjoying your conversation. I appreciate that.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, I am very, very blessed to have lived to be 87 years old.
Praise the
Lord. Me live until the last day of October. I'll be 88.
Wow.
October 31. Very good. Okay. Well, tell you what, call us back on your birthday for sure. Is that a weekday? I didn't look.
I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see.
I'm blessed by being able to live that long.
Well, you are blessed, and yeah, that's on a Thursday. So yeah, call us on your birthday. We'll sing. I tell you what, I guarantee you. Here's what Rob and I'll do. We'll sing Happy Birthday to you.
Oh, well, that'd be wonderful.
We will. We'll do it.
But all I need, that's what I tell my 2 children. They're not children, or they're in their 60s.
Kids, these kids these days.
Oh, I'm telling you, they've done really well for themselves.
Yeah.
They, and one of them, he played football there at Carpenterville.
Yeah.
He kicked a 50-yard field
Oh, hey.
goal, and
Wow.
he loved to play football.
What's some of the biggest trouble your kids got in? Did they ever see big trouble?
No, they never did.
Wow, that's awesome.
Because I'll tell you, I was down there with them
Uh-huh.
until about 10 years.
Yeah.
I got hit on the index finger on my right hand by a copperhead snake.
Oh,
And
goodness.
you've got to use them hands.
Hope it wasn't in the lunchroom.
No, it was home. I was cutting grass.
Oh my, bless you.
And with a push mower, reached down to pick up a water hose, and there he was. He was to strike. He got me.
Oh
So you have to be fast on that serving line.
yeah.
And 2, I couldn't use that hand and arm, so I had to give it up.
Okay.
But I loved everybody down there.
Well, there you go.
So they were all the kids, everybody was good to me.
Well, I tell you what, you served a very important job, and that was feeding people.
Yes, they all. And you know what? The favorite 2 days when you had hamburgers and when you had soup. That's when you had most children come through that one.
Soup.
Good homemade soup.
Oh, okay.
And hamburgers. That was the 2 days it's going to have the most children.
Soup and hamburger days. I like that. Well, I guess the takeaway from this is not only are you about to have a happy 88th birthday, but also the fact that Robert Earl Fraser used to like buttered rolls.
Oh, yes,
I like
he
it
did.
too.
Yeah.
Yes, I can remember him coming down there.
Yeah.
Wanted one of those hot. Oh, you wouldn't believe how good those rolls were.
No.
Each roll come hot out of that oven with butter in them.
I
All the teachers and everybody down there would come.
I tell you what, it sounds. You got my mouth watering as it is.
They were mighty good.
Yeah. Well, listen, thank you so much, Louise, for checking in with us. And no kidding, we want to hear from you on your birthday, see how things are going.
Well, I'm living in the Lord with him, but look,
Yeah.
I'm blessed.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm very blessed. too happy with this song.
All right. Well, listen, thank you for calling in. It's good to hear your voice.
Okay, thank y'all. You got a good program. I love all of you.
Oh,
thank
thank
you
you.
very
Love you
much.
too.
Appreciate that. Now that's really about it. I don't think we can top the show now. I'm just going to go.
Well,
Let's just go back to
I'm
Fox
thinking,
News.
wait a minute, I should have picked a pseudonym then. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Was that a possibility? You didn't give me that option. I don't.
Well, yeah, you can do a
Well,
pseudonym.
it's too late now.
I'm going to look up what pseudonym means, and then we'll go from there.
I have no
But,
idea.
see, I don't read. I watch the movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait for the movie.
That's
It
what
looks
I
like
do.
an interesting book. I'm going to wait for the movie.
Well, it looks like an interesting book. I'll wait for the movie. If the trailer's not good, I don't even watch the movie. So that's my level of education. And that's why I'm not qualified to speak about a lot of things.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Like maybe Rob and I are too movie minded. I don't know.
Movie might.
We're the uneducated.
Oh, that's true. You are. That's true.
right.
That yes, we had
That's
a
right.
cartoon.
I forgot about
Oh,
that.
Me and Rob, we're just movie heads.
Ignorant.
Couch
Ignorant.
potatoes.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Alabama.
No wisdom about life.
Tell you what.
I tell you what, well, we're looking forward to Miss Higginbotham coming on here in just a little bit.
Here.
And we'll be talking about a special event coming down. So coming downtown this weekend. So we'll talk about that. Also, don't forget, stay with us because Whitney Hodges with the tax assessor's office will be here because there's a lot of you folks out there concerned maybe your taxes are going to go up and because of assessments or whatever. So anyway, we can talk about all that and more. But first, what we're going to do is take a break for Fox News and just say a big thank you for Louise, our new caller. That was great.
That was a great call.
Yes, it was. Okay, Robert Earl, we're going to take a break.
Let's do it. Well, that's identity.
Probably one of the most played songs when it's a rainy season on our sister station, 97.9.
The Buzz.
That's right. That's it. Roger B. along with Rob Atkinson.
Good morning, sir.
Charles Frazier's in the house.
Charles or whatever you want to call
Whatever
Fine,
you
yeah.
You can call me Ray. You can call me Jay. Whatever. Yeah. It's
I'll call you Rob.
In just a moment, we're going to be visiting with our guest. But first, let's say a big thank you to Purvis Business Machines. We really appreciate those folks. And if you ever order a copier or printer from Purvis Business Machines, you will appreciate them too, because they give service, not excuses.
Never an excuse. Been doing it since 1979. All you have to do is call them 61693 copy, or check them out online, gopurvis.com. We can go by their beautiful showroom at 4505 Highway 39 North. They've got our lease return color copiers. You can gently use. You can save up to 85% on those. Can't save 85% on anything these days except the lease return color copiers at Purvis Business Machines. And what's great about them, they'll bring it, of course, to your home or office, and then they will connect it to everything. It's all about connectivity. They will hook it up to all of your devices. And so it is just, you hit that print button and boom, that paper is right there, ready to go. Check them out. Go see them at their beautiful showroom, 4505 Highway 39 North. Check them online, gopurvis.com, or give them a call, 61693 copy. And as you said, Roger, their motto is what says it all: service, not excuses, since 1979.
That's Purvis Business Machines. You know how nice it is to be sitting in your nice, comfortable recliner and you see something on the phone you want to print.
Yeah.
And you hit print and you hear the printer start in the other room. And then you just ask nicely, honey, will you bring me that piece of paper that's on the print?
There's no get it yourself. You got to get up and get it.
No,
there it is. Ready to go.
It just got connectivity is so important. Whether it's the machines or whether it's the person that's bringing you the paper off the print. It's wow. There you go. We're glad you're out there. And of course, Rob, when you were away yesterday, the sheriff kind of gave us a hint of some events coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be involved. So why don't you introduce our guests that are going to promote this event?
Well, it's going to be a big weekend. The Lean on Me, Lee. We got a couple of folks here this morning. We've got Miss Rhonda Brandy here this morning. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Come on in here. There we go. I think we got your mic turned on now. Rhonda Blanks. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. Glad to be here.
And Brandy Higginbotham. How are you?
I'm good.
All right. Well, tell us more about Lean on Me.
Well, this is going to be a great event this weekend. We have, of course, Saturday from 9 a.m. in beautiful downtown Meridian on Front Street, from the Max to the Historic Train Museum. We would love for you to come join the Stronger Together Foundation. Ashna Rush is our title sponsor, which we really appreciate that. And our community partners for the first ever Lean on Me Jubilee. This event promises to be an old-fashioned country fair atmosphere. It's going to be perfect for the entire family, and everyone can come and enjoy a variety of family-friendly games, craft vendors, delicious assortment of different food dinners. We do this memory, honor of those that we have lost or had ideation of suicide. We're trying to bring awareness to the community. Destigmatized suicide. I lost my son 10 years ago. So this is very dear to my heart. After about 3 years, I decided, how can I help this community? And that was to bring destigmatism toward the word suicide, get rid of it as a 4-letter word, and let's talk about this with our family, our friends, our students, our church family, everyone in this community. Bring mental health together. That's what we're doing at this event. I believe we have possibly 12 mental health vendors that will be coming in, and we will sporadically space these throughout the event. I'm going to speak of my son, and also my son. We worked with him for a long time. If Justin or JB, as he's called by most of his friends, if he had an issue, he would not make it known. But if he's getting something with his friends, he may pick up information. these people, community, our teachers, especially because it's very prevalent in our younger. It's the second cause of death in our boys from 9 to 15 years old. You would never have thought that. It's the second cause of death in our veterans, our elderly. It's one of the most common causes of death in our postpartum women. So these are a lot of things we're trying to get the information out to.
So it sounds like the idea then is to make awareness and kind of destigmatize the word suicide, but yet to also link people with, it sounds like you want to link them with people who can help, whether it's mental health professionals or even, I don't know, are clergy involved, things like that? Or is that kind of how you have this set up?
Yes, we will open with prayer. I mean, God is the reason our faith is why if you go through something traumatic like this, at the end of the day, people that you lean on, or hence lean on me, the words, or in faith in God. If you do not have this, it's been 10 years. I don't really know that I could be here 10 years later without my faith in God. And I'm sitting here with one of my church members. So,
all right. Yes, of course. We have Brandy Botham. Tell us some of the things about this program that people are going to need to know.
All right. Starting at 9, we're going to have a sensory-friendly time where the spot is and partner with us. That is a special place for others to thrive. It's going to be more geared toward like autistic. So it's going to be low-key music, just sensory-friendly time. We have lots of attractions: rock climbing wall, axe throwing, donkey booth.
Axe throwing. Oh, dunking. Now, wait a minute. You said family-friendly fun. Does that mean throwing baseballs at the sheriff?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Fun for everybody.
Sheriff, come on out.
It'll be family-friendly. Yeah. We got a whole bucket of baseballs we can throw at Sheriff Ward Calhoun.
Well, not at the booth.
Yeah, well, we know what they're going to be doing.
So, yeah, we have lots
paddle,
of...
not the cage.
We have children's activities such as a petting zoo, bounce houses, face painting, and we have a lot of local talent. Emily White, Grayson Culpepper, and Jack Moore.
Cool. That sounds excellent. So
we're excited.
A lot of planning has gone on to this event, it sounds like. So, when we talk about, again, the focus is awareness of suicide, the stigmatization of the word, but yet maybe freeing people up to talk about it. Is there going to be anything or any resources where people can say, hey, what are the signs that I can recognize in a person that might be contemplating this? And is there a way to learn some of these things?
Yes, we'll have informational booths there, and we'll have paper pamphlets that we'll give you to expect. Notice with adolescents, also with adults. We'll also have someone there that will be speaking and give their testimony that is a suicide survivor. And we're going to give them time. We'll do that in the middle of the show. That's
an interesting concept. Somebody who attempted it and now they've been able to recover and can talk about it.
Correct. And they're
Excellent.
an actual survivor of suicide. Just to bring reality to let everyone know how you feel and the things you go through mentally. We will have a lot of information with a lot of books. 988 will be there. I don't know if you know what 988 is. A lot of people do not. 988 is the number you call.
Helpline, yeah.
Correct. And it's for mental health and also for suicide awareness. Not just suicide awareness, any type of mental health. You can call that and they'll direct you to that. They also have a veterans line. Veterans, you can go directly to the line at 988.
Sorry about that.
So we will have
She didn't cuss. Did you? No, I don't.
I've been trying not to.
I left
I have to watch.
I left a button.
Okay. But it's going to be a great.
Well, this is good because I'm guessing that we might be actually surprised about how many people and their families have been touched by this tragedy.
Yes. The old saying is, if you live long enough, you will be touched by suicide. For every person, you have survivors. Like with my child, there's probably 500 to 1,000 survivors because he was just a well-known person, and I'm a survivor. Anyone that Brandy's a survivor, just my child, knowing him and growing up with him. So those are our survivors.
Now, how old was he again?
He was 27 and he died January 13th of 2015.
I see. Wow. Well, again, our hearts go out to you because I know this is a loss you still feel and are going to for the rest of your life. And it's great that you have taken that and redirected energy to help others by being involved in Lean on Me. So we applaud you immensely for that.
It was a dream I had probably about 3 years after his death. And we did try it pre-COVID, but COVID kind of put a stop to it. But this year it's just turned into a large community event. And we have a wonderful committee. Brandy's been on it. She was probably the first person I came to when we decided to do this year, and she just jumped in at first, and it's really grown.
You gotta be careful jumping in head first. You can just make sure you know how deep the water is.
I do that a lot.
But it's great that you have that good support and that good help. So, Brandy, what made you decide you wanted to jump head first into this?
I love Rhonda and I love helping others, and I love to organize things, and I've met a lot of wonderful people. Mike Couch, through Stronger Together, and Kayla Mowdy, and my sister's even helping. I pulled her on in with me, so just organizing an event that means something to bring awareness. I think it's a great cause.
Well, there you have it, folks, and take advantage of it because it's this weekend, and it starts at what time once again?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock on Saturday downtown at the
Max to the train station.
Yeah, from the Max to the train station.
Right.
And the street will be blocked off, so don't go down that street.
And Saturday is sunshine and 81.
Wow.
By the way,
Sounds
so
great.
it's going to be great weather this
You're
weekend.
getting some help from God. Did you know that? You're getting some help from God on this. That's great. That is good news. So again, what are some of the other you mentioned some of the activities, but just go down the extensive list of what kind of fun things are going to be there for the family.
A few things that maybe she didn't mention. We do have exotic animals coming. Exotic petting zoo. Face painting.
I don't want no python out there. Don't need that.
Opera.
Probably lemurs. Monkeys that the kids
I love
enjoy.
I love them in Madagascar. They were
Who
great.
doesn't like a lemur?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, everybody does.
I like to move it. No,
You don't have that company anymore.
I'm sorry. You got me sidetracked there.
And Dustin Jones is helping us with our bounce houses and our obstacle course. And we have cornhole and games
That's a fun game.
we have a lot of games that are the vendors will be bringing themselves. Everybody's going to participate. We want to make it family oriented, and that's why we're probably ending it at 2, so we can do it all. Everyone's talking about already next year what we're going to do. So we haven't got it ready yet.
I haven't even got that done.
No, but we're already thinking about next year.
Well, that's good.
Roger next year. I mean, just an idea.
We can.
Nobody wants to throw
We
baseball.
have a
I do.
vacancy. We have a vacancies for Saturday.
Robert Earl.
You busy? Not gonna work.
We still have one booth. We got one more for the dunking booth, so we are looking.
Well, there you go.
You said it first.
I wish I could be there.
Yeah,
I wish I could be there. Anyway, but it's going to be great. It's kind of it's strange that we're doing this. It's going to be great fun to come down and talk about and learn about suicide.
Sure.
And that sounds so strange, but I just commend you on being part of an organization to heighten awareness of the issues and not just kind of people kind of just sweeping this and their emotions about it under a rug. It's pretty cool. So there you have it. Any other questions, guys, that we haven't asked yet? Are there any other
Okay,
comments that you
it
make?
covered just about everything. So 9 until 2 o'clock on Saturday. So very good.
But the exotic animal will not be in the bounce house.
Probably
That would be a
not.
weird combination.
Look at that lemur fly.
He's jumping, leaping the leaper. Wow,
right.
he's bouncing around.
Rhonda
Okay.
Blank, thank you so much for the hard work you do. Also, Brandy Higginbotham, thank you so much for what you do in this. And we just wish you a very successful program this Saturday. And folks, put it on your schedule. Come out and be part of it.
And thank you for allowing us to be here and promote this.
Well,
Absolutely.
thanks for stopping by. Any other help we can be, just let us know. It's Mornings in Meridian. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Stay tuned for more of Mornings in Meridian. The cold Kentucky rain. Oh yeah, a little Elvis there for old Kentucky rain. Another good rainy day song, Rob. Are people going to hear that one on our country station? Or will it be
Sprinkles them from time to time.
Yeah,
I've actually never heard that song.
Okay,
Kentucky Rain.
ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a couple more minutes so that
None. I mean,
so that
I think I heard enough. but-
Charles Royal can come up to speed.
Robert Earl, listening in.
Mornings in Meridian. Glad you're out there. You too can be part of the show. 601-485-9190. Put you right here. Coming up next hour, we're going to be visiting with Whitney Hodges. She is, she's acting tax assessor. I think that's what she's doing. And she's running for the office to fill the late James Rainey spot. And then she's going to be here talking about tax assessment.
Okay.
You'll be the tax assessor.
She's running unopposed.
Exactly.
That's it. So we'll have her here in the next hour. Maybe in the meantime, plumbing problems are big problems when they're in your home or business, and there's a person that can take care of it. That's Gary Barber at Barber and Son Plumbing.
He's got a whole crew down there. Barber.
All right, you guys. Come on. I tell you,
If you're hired or not, then you need to go to Barber and Son Plumbing for all of your plumbing needs. They've got all kinds of plumbing parts available in stock. And of course, what's great about Barber and Son Plumbing is you bring your part down there if you're a do-it-yourselfer, or take a picture of the part that's not working, and Gary will know exactly what the part is, how to fix it, and will give you detailed instructions on how to do so. All you got to do is go see them, 1123 26th Avenue, or give them a call, 601-482-7023. They've been in business for over 80 years. Wow. I think you might say they know what they're doing at this point. They are the plumbing experts. All the plumbers in town go there, and there's a reason for that. You don't want to go to a big box store, go to aisle 43, bin 32, get the wrong part, bring it back. No. It's stop shopping at Barber and Sons Plumbing, 601-482-7023. And of course, they're conveniently located, 1123 26th Avenue.
You need to put PU on the front of the door.
Plumbing University.
Okay. If you want to avoid the PU, then go to PU.
That's right. Where'd you get their degree? Well,
I got it at Gary Barber.
that's right. All right. Well,
Walter Plank, you scallywag.
there you go.
And they don't do haircuts.
I'm telling you.
Not that good.
They might. You never know.
We don't.
Eric might do it all.
We don't usually do Hollywood news, but this one just jumped off the page.
What is it?
Well, news flash: Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively were spotted holding hands in New York City. There you have it, folks.
Well,
There you go.
good for them, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you just gotta get this news out?
Is that really on the news wire?
It is.
Oh,
Yep.
really?
They've been spotted walking hand in hand in New York streets a couple of times this week. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively.
Do you care?
Not really. All right. We'll be back. We'll talk about some tax assessors and tax assessment. Everybody, good morning. It's in Meridian, the second hour now with the two best hours of local live talk radio here in East Mississippi, West Alabama. I'm Roger B. Say hi to the main man from Meehan, Rob Atkinson.
Good morning, sir.
And of course, here he is, the man with the plan, Charles Frazier.
No nickname?
Not today.
No.
Well, the one that I used is not airworthy, so
Clean.
I just want to
Family show.
make sure that we keep it on the up and up here at Mornings in Meridian. By the way, I like you know what nickname that I like a lot? Doc. Like Doc's Toyota.
Yes.
Good nickname.
Mhm.
Well, I think it's owned by a doctor.
Well, yeah, but you shorten
It's
the
a
word
title.
doctor. Well, it's a title, but it's also
There's also people that are called doc. But
yeah,
really.
that's true. I mean, one of the dwarfs in Snow
He
White
was a doctor. He was an MD.
was it?
I have no idea.
You just got our guest.
All right. Doc's Toyota.
There we go. Okay.
24 Camrys to come as Forerunners.
He finally took the bone. Oh man,
Priuses. This is three eyes as well. And the new Land Cruisers. Good looking vehicle. Check it out.
You're going to own one of those. I can just
No, I'm
feel
not.
it. You are.
I got the Forerunner. I'm happy with
Okay.
that. Anyway, they also have a very large, I might say,
Huge.
like a pre-owned inventory, all been through the rigorous multiple code inspection process, so you know you're getting a good quality used vehicle. Now you can check all that inventory, both new and pre-owned, online at doctoyota.com. But it's so easy to take that short drive up to Philadelphia and see it all in person. And, I tell you what, every dealership has a deal. You get an air fryer, you get a toaster, you might get $250 back. Who cares about all that stuff? Because those aren't good deals.
Like a Doc's deal. That's what I'm talking about. All right. We're glad you're out there, folks. And of course, we are delighted to have on our show. She has worked in the tax assessor's office for Lauderdale County for several years. And you might say she was the right-hand person for the late James Rainey, who was our tax assessor, elected by the people. And she now herself is running for the office of tax assessor. And so let's welcome to our microphone Mrs. Whitney Hodges.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you.
You've
Thank
been
you
on
for
our
having
show before, but
me. Yes, sir.
here you are once again, and thank you for coming in because we just had a nice heated discussion a little weeks ago
Just a warm
Warm and friendly.
about the tax assessment process, and of course, in conjunction with the Lauderdale County millage and things like that, and the taxes we pay on our property. So, having said all of that, let's first of all just find out a little bit more about you personally, and then we'll talk about the issues. You are, of course, Whitney Hodges, married to
Yes, sir. Mac
Hodges, who
Yes, I am.
he's retired. I just hate him. Retired.
Yeah.
Lucky guy.
He's at home, just probably coloring in his coloring book while she's at work, earning money for
Watching the view. Yeah.
That's right.
But no, tell us more about yourself.
Yes, I'm married to Mac Hodges, and we live out in Bailey, Mississippi. We've got 5 wonderful grown adult children between us, 5 precious grandchildren.
Oh,
I could talk about them all day, but you may not have that much time.
well, no, get the pictures out. Let's talk.
Let's do it.
Grandchildren, since I have one now, it's all rules are off. The grandkids take priority.
It's true. They're wonderful. We've got 3 beautiful granddaughters that go to West Lauderdale, and we love spending time with them. We were at a softball game last night.
Nice.
Lots of fun.
Well, there you go. So you're very active in our community, it sounds like. And of course, also, it sounds like if you're out in Bay, you own property out there.
Oh, yes, sir.
I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
which
On
means-
Dumbo Road.
Which means you have to assess your own property then.
I do.
But because you're a tax assessor, you don't have to pay any taxes on it.
Well, I wish that was true, but that is not true.
We're trying to start something.
Yeah, I was going to run for that office.
That is not true.
I just was checking the waters to see how she's had her second cup of coffee today.
We pay just like everyone else, and that's kind of what I was coming to visit with you guys about today, to try to help
Okay.
clear up some of the rumors about the rates and the
Well,
values.
let's clear up some of those rumors. We got a caller that has checked in here. Let's just see if we can make sure that we give them an opportunity to ask a question. So let's go to the phone lines. Caller, do you have a question for Ms. Rogers?
Good morning. How you doing? I don't have a question. I don't be up.
I'm glad to hear from you, man.
Yes, sir. I'll call back later because I've got some discussions. I didn't want to be anything up. So
I'm glad. Just give me a hint of what we're going to talk about. What we're going to talk about.
oh, you know it's got to be politics.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, we'll do that, my friend. Thanks for checking in with us.
All right. Well, you just I'm interested in hearing what Ms. Hodges got to say.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Good call. That's our man on the street checking in here, and I'm sure he does want to talk about politics. And as it kind of turns out, being a tax assessor or running for office is political.
Yes,
because you are a candidate. Is that right?
Yes, sir. I sure am.
And you will be on the ballot, but you will not have a challenger.
Yes, sir.
That's wonderful. Your first campaign is the best campaign.
So your chances are pretty good at this point.
Yes,
I'd say.
I'm very blessed.
There we go. So, but we do need to understand that this is kind of a special ballot position because you're basically being elected to fulfill the term that James Rainey was elected for, right?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
So then you would be up for re-election in
3 years.
3 years.
years.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And of course, you folks remember James Rainey. He's been our tax assessor for many years.
He's a good man.
And
Sure
when
was.
he would come on, the good man, good veteran, served the country, and Whitney would come on with him when he came on the show. But so there you have it. Now, back to the great term of tax assessment. How are my property taxes assessed?
That's a great question. We have guidelines and instructions from the Department of Revenue. A very thick book that I did not bring with me because it's very heavy. But we
Like
have
a State Department of Revenue.
right. We have statutory standards that we have to follow, and basically, in a nutshell, once every 4 years, we drive by every single parcel. And I hate that drive-by because everybody used to talk about, that's all we do is drive by. But if there's been no change, no improvement,
I was wondering why you
there's
circled my
not
driveway.
really
Not.
exactly. It's to make sure that the structure is still there and no changes have been made. But we do all. We've got 46,800 and something parcels in Lauderdale County. So we do between 11 and 12,000 per year.
So this is land.
So it's
and
massive.
structures, like just vacant land as well.
Yes, sir.
Oh wow,
That's correct.
Okay,
So we
gotcha.
do all of it: commercial property, residential property, you name it. We go and look at it, pick it up, and we usually run somewhere between 60 to 90 new houses per year, new construction, and then we'll have splits and that kind of thing to make us increase in parcels. The parcels inch up a little bit every year. Like if there's a new subdivision, something like that. But so we do mass appraisals. So we do 11 to 12,000 per year, and then we go back and look at the permits. So in other words, if you get a permit to build a barn or put a power pole in or something like that, we'll go back by. A lot of times there could be a mobile home there, or there could be a large structure. So go and check that.
All right, so that you have certain regulatory. You've got the Department of Revenue. This, your job is to assess properties and say this is how you do it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
They have a list of how much everything costs, how much a roof, how much the brick, how much flooring costs, everything. And so we itemize that on the property record card or an appraisal and come back to the office and compute it.
So some of the factors then is the actual assessment of the tax on my property, whether it's vacant or if it's vacant property, is it acreage, and if it has a structure on it, is it square footage? What are some of the things that are used to calculate that assessment?
Exactly what you just said. The actual acreage, of course, is what we look at on the land. And if it's commercial property, we look by front foot. So in other words, how many feet are on the road. And then, like you were saying,
you talking about paved road or
both?
Oh, okay. I was going to say
both. They have different values.
Well, good, because don't count the A Street section by my old property there, my Graham Transfer, as paved, because that thing has been patched and stuck together for 40 years. So
you got a brand spanking new light at the end of that, so that counts for something, doesn't it?
Yeah, thank you.
Wow.
So don't count
Where'd that
A,
light come from
don't count
anyway?
A Street down by Magnolia Steel as paved, okay?
Oh.
Okay.
I'm
Sort of
sorry.
paved. That's a partial pave.
Did my personal feelings show?
No.
I'm sorry.
No.
Okay, let's get back to objective. Let's get back to objective interview here. Uh, anyway, those are the things that factor into it. The
Yes.
structure, the square footage, and how do you know how much square footage I have in my home, my barn, or my what business?
We actually measure it. We take a
Shut the door. You
a
measure.
road. I mean, measure it. Yes, sir. We actually measure it
How about that?
when it's under construction, and we
Okay.
actually class the parcels when they're under construction. And so we have a certain standard that we have to fit in, which I think is what most people are always asking about. We have 3 different ways: with sales comparison approach, cost approach, and income approach.
Hmm.
And so what we do in this 4th year, which this year is our update year, and what we do in the 4th year is we do statistical analysis of everything that's happened for the last 3 years. We all know, unfortunately, COVID, a few little minor things, residential rates. There's a lot going on out there, and prices have really gone up. They've really increased. And
So that's the statistical analysis part, the property value. Then.
yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And we look at what has actually sold in the county, and then we also look at what was constructed in the county. So we send out sales letters to everyone that has sold a property, and it's at will state. So you can, if you choose to send in those sales letters, we can maybe learn some information from you about what you paid for, but you don't have to disclose what you paid for a parcel. So we have to try to investigate as best we can and get as much information as we can, and then we do the sales analysis and try to come up. The state makes an index, if you will, and everything. Like if you look at everything based on one index, then we have to put a number on that, if you will.
Okay.
And so, and on residential, I think that's the thing that you probably hear the most about. We have to stay between 85% and 115% of market. So, for example, if a house is 100,000, we need to stay between 85,000 and 115,000 in value.
Okay.
To satisfy the Department of Revenue, who do come and audit us every single year.
Okay. Well, there you go. You got somebody looking over your shoulder there.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, we have a caller on the line, and we appreciate you are. Do we ask permission to take phone calls for you, or
It's fine.
it's fine? Okay,
Yes, sir.
because here's what I found
I
out,
work for the taxpayers.
and I'll say this because my wife and I did stop by your office, and you have been very gracious to entertain us, and let us ask questions and answer our questions for us, and so you're willing to do that with any citizen that has a question.
Yes, sir. I am.
It wasn't just special for us.
No, sir.
Okay,
But y'all are nice people.
Oh yeah, okay, thank
I'll give you
Yeah.
See. Thanks, guys. So the phones we go 601-485-9191. Good morning.
Good morning. How y'all today?
Morning.
Doing fine. Doing fine.
Great. I got a question. This, concerns my house that I live in. It's I have now about a 4-acre yard. It wasn't that large to begin with. The neighbors next door was willing to sell me a little bit to, at one point in time it was only like 0.25 of an acre to add to my yard. But then when the older man and woman passed away, the son came to me and wanted to sell me the house, and which I bought, tore it down, but I added the property to my yard, so I've got it all fenced in and everything. And I get 3 tax bills for those 3 parcels of property, and I have been trying for years to get it all under one umbrella, and I can't make that happen. Why is that such a problem?
Yes, sir. That's a good question. I would say I don't know who you are, but I would say just on the information you provided that you may cross a section line. If you cross a section line, it's hard for us to combine the parcels. If you don't cross the section line, normally we can combine the parcels. So it might be a timing issue. Our lien date for real property is January the 1st. So if you, for example, if one of the parcels transferred title in December and the other parcel transferred title in April of the next year, it might just be a timing thing. We can combine them when all the taxes are paid.
All right, this was years apart when this happened.
Yes,
okay.
sir. Yes,
in
sir.
several years, so it didn't happen like that.
Yes,
But
sir.
I just wonder if there's a reason why you don't want to combine them. If I brought
No,
three bills down there, could you do that for me?
yes, sir. I believe we could, unless it crosses the section line, like we said.
Okay.
That's the only thing that would
Okay.
hold us up is if it crosses a section line.
Don't think that's the case, but I don't know that for sure.
Yes,
One
sir.
other thing, my wife and I were looking at our tax bills. You do know me. You met me at the supervisors meeting last time.
Oh, okay. Good.
Okay, and very nice and very informative. And I did appreciate that information you shared with me.
Yes, sir.
But I've got on my pier, I've got a shed that is just no heat, no water, nothing. It's just a shed that to get out of the sun when the grandchildren are fishing. And I do not remember. I mean, I don't know how you would have got that information unless it's from the air, because you would have 3 gates to cross that's locked all the time. And I don't ever remember anybody coming and measuring that, but it's on the tax rolls. And why would you want to tax a kid?
Yes, sir.
You know,
Unfortunately, that is in the Department of Revenue's guidelines. We do have to pick up those sheds, and we do use aerial photography. We try very hard to get in contact with the property owner and actually gain access, not just use it from aerial photography. But we do use the aerial because people do have locked gates, and they want to be careful about who's on their property.
Absolutely. My 2 rooms been vandalized twice and robbed twice. So I don't want anybody on my property unless I know they're there. I have no problem with the tax assessor people coming home, but I'd like them to call me when
Yes,
they're
sir.
coming, and I'll be glad to open the gates and meet them and take them down there.
Yes, sir.
I just wondered how they got that. Now, if you do it airily, how do you know that I don't have water, heat, air conditioning on the shed?
That's a great question. Also, we do as much as we can. That way, it's hardly. Yes, I suggest if you got some time, come by the office and let us pull your
I
property
will.
record card and let us look at it with you and verify that we've got the proper assessment.
Great. Well, I definitely would love to get those 3 parcels of where my house is together. It makes no sense to me to have 3 property tax bills and it's all one piece of property and all fenced together. Makes no sense to me. But and you said a section line. Is
Yes,
that
sir.
like where the property was originally divided into sections?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll do that. I'll get my property tax bills together and come see you and sit down, and hopefully you can explain all that to me, and
Yes,
maybe
sir.
we can get that resolved. Thank you very
That'd be
much.
great.
I appreciate you, and thank you for the other day as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Oh, by the way, they did say you got a piece of metal loose on that roof there on that shed, so you might want to put a couple of screws in it there. That's something she was talking about earlier.
Great, Roger, on that.
Okay, I got that.
What is it?
Thank you for the phone call.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Well, that's interesting. That I guess you use a combination of things, drive-by and flybys, I guess, huh?
Yes, sir. We sure do.
Is that a drone, or do you need to hire a pilot for the
No,
county?
sir. We don't have any drones. We
Oh.
just use regular old airplanes.
Well, don't get a drone because you'll have like Secret Service. You'll have to dial 800 to learn how to use it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, never mind. Well, that's for another time. So, at any rate, when we're talking about assessment, then a combination. You said the price, which is what kind of assessment is that again? When you're
The
cost
cost
analysis,
analysis. Yes, sir.
cost analysis, the actual measurement, and then aerial survey.
Right.
Very
Yes,
good.
sir. Yes, sir.
All
three.
right. So that's how things get assessed, and that's how your property can always be updated in the county's office. Is they're keeping an eye on you.
They're spying on you.
Oh, wait a minute. You have to have a warrant for that. Anyway, please
You've got
continue.
drones now.
I was going to say, Charles mentioned, how do you get a break on that? The one way you get a break, of course, on your homestead is for homestead exemption. And it does help in years like this when our assessments are going up based on cost of materials. If you're over 65, there was a wonderful bill, Senate Bill. Let me see, I was going to make sure I named it off. Senate Bill 2578 from the 2018 regular session, and it exempts future increases in value for over 65 homestead.
Mhm.
So that's a good way to kind of freeze your value until you sell it. Of course, when you sell it, it'll go back on the market.
Mm.
But that was a good thing. And
So if you're living in the home that you own or buying, you can qualify for homestead exemption.
yes, sir. And
There
you
you
can
go.
only file on one parcel or one homestead in Mississippi.
All right, there you have it. We're going to come back and talk more with Ms. Hodges about the tax office and the tax assessor's job and your taxes. But first, let's tell folks about Battery One Source. If you want to start something, you need to go to Battery One Source right there on North Frontage Road.
The only place to get something started. 2618 North Frontage Road, in between exit 152 and 153, is where you will find John 24 and his crew and the batteries for every neat description. Watches, remotes, cell phones, even laptop computers. If your laptop computer doesn't have a battery, it's a desktop. Well, make it a laptop once again. Go see John 24 at Battery One Source. Of course, they also have battery tenders, maintainers, cables, and they'll test your batteries for free. And if your cell phone's broken, they got the best cell phone repair guy in the business.
Mhm.
That's right. Golf cart service and repair, they're number one here in town. Give them a call, 616-933-1500, or go see them, 2618 North Frontage Road. Battery One Source is your one source for all batteries.
All right, we'll join Fox News and we'll come back and we'll talk more with Mrs. Whitney Hodges. Rabbit, like the rainy night and a rainy day sometimes where you can kind of sit in and maybe find an excuse not to go out and mow the yard. A legitimate one anyway.
Sure.
Sure.
Cheetos.
Welcome back.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's it.
TV remote and a bag of Cheetos and a Dr. Pepper. That's what I'm talking about. We're glad you're out there, folks. We want you to be part of the show. And, of course, our show today is about, taxes, tax assessment on property. And, of course, if you have any questions for our tax assessor, and she is running for office, but she's been in that office for years, and she is taking care of the place along with her team. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. But first, let's say a big thank you to somebody who has a business and they pay taxes on that business. And they pay taxes on the furnishings in that business. That's Southern Business Supply.
Paying a lot of taxes.
That's it.
Adam Calvert. It's a family-owned, operated business. Has been for 38 years. What's great about Southern Business Supply, you go online, southernbusinesssupply.com. You order all of your office supplies with pens, paper, pencils, staplers. Yes, indeed. Or even boxes, filing cabinets, any of that stuff, and they will deliver it to your home or business the next day. How cool is that? Yeah, better than some of those other sites that are kind of large multinational corporations. No, this is family owned and operated, so those are the ones you want to use. Of course, you can also go check them out at their beautiful showroom, 685 Dale Drive. They're open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. You can call them as well, 601-485-2447. All your office supplies, they have everything in stock, and it is ready to be delivered to your home or business. And if you buy local, where does your money stay? Right here. Exactly. And just say no to the big box stores. Say yes to southernbusinesssupply.com.
All right. Mornings in Meridian. Welcome back, Ms. Hodges. Whitney Hodges with the Tax Assessor's Office of Lauderdale County.
Thank you for having me.
And answering some good questions here for us. And one question that I have, and I'd like you to address this whole issue. We had a discussion a couple of weeks ago about how the assessed property values are likely to go up this year because of market, all the things you said,
Yes,
any
cost.
improvement on properties, cost. So we know in one regard, our taxes are going, if we own property, our taxes are going to go up in that regard. But then there's also the issue of the millage rate within the county that also affects how much of that assessment is the tax or calculated. It's kind of confusing, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it is.
So anyway, and it's our understanding that the governing agencies, albeit the city council and the board of supervisors, have the power to lower millage rates so that the tax increase is not so, I guess, doesn't hurt so much.
Not so painful.
Not so
Yes.
painful. That might be what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
So, do you have any influence or comments about the governing bodies that can do that?
Yes, sir. Well, it
Or
was.
do you have communication with them?
Oh, yes, sir. Definitely. We've been communicating with the city of Meridian, the school boards, and the board of supervisors basically since January to inform them that these costs were going up this year because of the state manual. The Department of Revenue increased, gave us a new manual which increased the cost of goods for construction, and so we've sort of been recommending for months now that they could be the heroes and be the ones to lower the millage rate and help us not all have to bear the burden of this increase in taxes. But
Now, my understanding is
they
the
did
city
not.
council,
It was
lowered
it was like a slight
Like
increase. Yeah.
one mil,
Okay.
or 1.14, I believe,
Yeah.
was the millage that they reduced.
and the Lauderdale County Board of Supervisors.
And I think the schools went down just a
Just a
fraction,
just a
Okay.
little bit.
just a little bit, small fraction.
And what about the supervisors?
No, sir,
Okay.
they kept the same millage.
Same millage, which means there'll be a direct correlation of the increased tax assessment and the increase of your taxes, where they could have been buffered a little bit by a lower millage rate, but they chose not to do it. So there you have it. We'll have to have some supervisors on next. How's that? Find out what happened there.
We're in my crosshairs.
Okay, but that's to know that you have communication with these agents, with these bodies, so they can be informed. So
Yes,
you,
sir. We try to communicate all of our values, and we hand carry a flash drive over to the city every year and to Meridian, and try to stay in communication with them as much as we can
Well,
about values.
time take a flash drive and maybe a sledgehammer. Anyway, no,
I like Louisville Sluggers.
Oh, Slugger.
There you
Okay.
go. Nice.
But a flash drive and a ball bat. No, we do not promote violence on this
No, we
show. Anything said on this show is not necessarily that. Management staff and lawyers and everything. All right, did discredit there. Got a caller on the line. Good morning, caller. Do you have any comments or questions for Ms. Hodges?
Yes. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
And dog. I come in peace, love everybody, and there's nothing you can do
All
about
right,
it.
good deal. What's your question, sir?
All right, my question is there a procedure to challenge your assessment to try to get it lowered if you think your property is, not as worth as much as they say due to a couple of cases,
Yes, sir. There sure are. We actually have two ways you can do that. One is called a request for review, and that's a document that we actually have on the Lauderdale County website. It's just lauderdale.org, and that's where you basically fill out a document and let us know what you think the value of the property is. We like to get any extra information from you that we can to add to that. So, for example, if you've had an appraisal done for a loan, or you've had a survey done, or if you have, something from a contractor saying, the roof is leaking or what have you, just some kind of additional information. And you can do that basically anytime in our office. We do have a cutoff, however, for the information to get to the Board of Supervisors so that they can produce the village and do their budgets and things. So our cutoff time is we finish most of our land roll information by around the 1st of June, and then we present it to the board July the 1st. So the board actually has all the land roll information from July 1st to around the 15th, or the middle of the month, and then it's open to the public. So from July the 15th to around the first week of August, you have the right to come and for a formal appeal, place a formal appeal with the Chancery Clerk's office, and that would be heard by the Board of Supervisors at an appeal process that first meeting in August. So they meet on the first Monday and third Monday of each month. So that would be held around the first week of August. It's hard to say the exact date because every year it changes a little bit. But it's a great question because I don't know that people really know they can come in and look at their value and see if they can give additional information that we don't know, because we don't actually go inside the properties. Now we'll go inside a business because, there's ingress and egress for that, but not inside someone's personal home. So if you've got additional information, that would be great. Or your insurance policy, if you don't have it insured as much as we have it on the roll for, these kind of things are examples of that.
All right. Does that answer your question, sir?
Okay. Yes, sir. That was a good answer, and you have my vote cut off.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Appreciate the phone call. Thank you. All right. How about that? An endorsement during the show. That's not bad.
Great.
From
Thank you.
Mississippi, Cincinnati James.
Oh boy,
I did that. But now, just to refresh, to begin that appeal process, it kind of all comes down to the first part of August when things are decided, right?
Yes, sir.
And
That's correct.
so that appeal process starts how far in advance?
It's the last 2 weeks of July.
Okay.
Typically. And what we do is we'll put the proposed values on the website so you can look at this year's value and compare it to last year's value. It doesn't actually calculate the taxes or anything. It just does the value, because that's what our office is responsible for, is the value.
The valuation.
And
Gotcha.
then the board puts the money on it.
The board. It's
the
all
board.
about the board. It's all about that board. Let's take a phone call. You have a question for our tax assessor.
Yes, sir. My brother-in-law has some shoot houses on the property in the woods.
Shoot houses. Okay.
Yeah. Do they get taxed?
No, sir.
Okay. It's been there quite a few years. I thought, just curious.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, not unless like for example, a shed, say a 12 by 20 shed. Those are normally personal property, so we don't pick those up on your real property tax assessments.
Yeah.
And, and a shoot house would be similar to that. It wouldn't.
But what we do want is the address of the land and a trail map to these shoot houses, if you would.
Don't mind. That'd be great.
Yeah,
we can check them out.
I was just curious about that. I appreciate the answer.
All right, good question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that was what I hadn't thought about.
Good question.
So that's good news. But your camp house is taxable
Yes, sir. Unfortunately.
if you're part of a hunting camp.
Yes, sir.
All right. You mentioned something, and this has been, having been in business myself, this has been something that's been kind of a sore spot with me. And I don't know if you can give any advice or any hope that this can be changed, but as a business person, I thought it was completely, utterly ridiculous that I should buy a desk or a computer, say 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Of course, if you have a computer you bought 10 years ago, it's probably not much good to you now. But still have to pay taxes each year on that piece of equipment in my office. And I'm bringing this up to you, not complaining to you personally, because you have to do what you're charged to do by the state. Is there any way this tax could go away?
Yes, sir. I do believe there is.
There is?
I wish I had control over that too, but basically it's legislative, and it's one of the few taxes that we pay locally that stays locally. So it would be something really to ask Mr. Billy Albert and Mr. Jeff Tate or one of our legislative guys to help us figure it out, because it is it's frustrating for us as well, because we have to go around. We do the same thing on personal property that we do on real property. Once every 4 years, we physically come in your business and walk around and check. Do you still have that filing cabinet? Do you still have this desk? Do you still have that computer? And we have to verify it and check it off the list.
And you don't know how hard it was for us to get all that stuff in a locked room when the tax assessor came by, and then get it back out again and set it up and plug it all in. It was so difficult for us.
Yes, and it really is a hard thing, because you pay taxes on it when you purchase it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, if it's physically in your business, you still have to pay tax on it. So my advice is, when it's old or worn out or used, get rid of it. Pull it away from your business. Remove it.
Yeah.
So that then you can, one of two things, you can render to us, because your rendition is due every year, April the 1st. If you have a business, it's due every single year, April the 1st. And that's an itemized listing of everything you have inside your business. So if you don't turn in that rendition, we don't know that you deleted anything. So it's hugely important for business. And it's amazing how many people don't turn them in.
Yeah.
I mean, we have
roughly
3,200 businesses in Lauderdale County on the roll. And we usually have 700 to 800 that do not render. So then we physically go out to inspect them, and they may have added a bunch of new stuff or deleted things that we don't know about. So it really helps us if you fill out that rendition.
And that's whether it's a business inside the city limits or outside the city limits.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
In
Lauderdale County.
And does that money go into the county coffers?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's part of the grand total.
Well, I can
numbers
see.
that calculate the millage.
And since it is tax collected here and stays here, I can see that would be a hard thing to try to get.
Yes, sir. We need another stream of revenue to be able to offset that revenue.
Well, marijuana is legal now. Could have a county. Okay, but I'm just trying to think outside the box.
Okay.
Your money
All
stays local.
There you go. So, okay, that answers that question. But we can talk to the senator or the representative next time they're here. And see what
Well,
the chances
I
are.
appreciate you bringing it up, because it's a very important topic, and it's so hard to get the word out to the businesses to please just render. Just, it's literally, if you're making no change, you just sign in the back of it saying no change. But if you're adding or deleting anything, please let us know, because it helps you not have to pay so many taxes. And if you turn it in after April the 1st, there's a 10% penalty that I don't think people understand either. And so there's another incentive to please just turn in a little piece of paper.
Turn in the piece of paper, tell them what you got. It saves you 10% and saves them half.
Yes, sir.
Or it saves you taxes. It might be more than that if you got rid of a few things. All right, very good. That answers that question. Now, we've talked about so many things. Is there something we haven't asked you about that you really want our listeners to hear?
No, sir. Well, I mean, I'd love to go over a few dates and of course, give our website our phone number because we are
And
open to
also
the
how to get
public.
that tax, the homestead thing.
Yes, sir. Homestead exemption. Yes, sir. So
The homestead thing.
At home, you know.
yes, sir.
Bob.
Yes, sir. So
Yeah, go
our
ahead.
our lien date for real property is January the 1st, and the important thing to remember about that is you can file for homestead starting January the 2nd. For anything that you do this year, you can file for homestead next year. So homestead is open January 2nd through April 1st of every year, and you don't have to come back and file for homestead unless you turn 65, get married or divorced, or if you add some property, like if you buy another parcel, you can come back in and add that parcel anytime between January 1st and April 1st. And we do try to send out reminder letters to everyone that's had a deed transfer to have a name transfer there. And then lien date for business personal property is March the 1st. So in other words, if you open a new business before March the 1st, we would put it on for that year. And then the lien date or the date to remember for renditions is April the 1st. So all businesses need to turn in that rendition by April the 1st. It's very, very, very important because it helps us get our rolls done and you don't have to pay that extra 10%. Then we turn over our rolls to the board July the 1st. They mull over them or look at them for about 2 weeks, and then they're open to the public, which is also on our website. So every year between July 15th and around the 1st of August, you can go online and see what your proposed values are. Then in August, the board meets and we review those appeals. So you can come in and talk to the board directly that first meeting in August. And they'll hear your responses. And then the second meeting in August, they'll usually make their deliberation based on our recommendations. And then in October is when the new millage rates come out every year. So October 1st, because they have to get them ready for car tags and everything else. It's not just real property. So that's kind of how
that's next week.
So are all those values still listed, or are they just available for a short period of time?
They're all still listed. They're on our website as we speak. It's actually under, I think it says, you go to assessor, the assessor drop down, and then I believe it says real property appraisal.
And it's Lauderdale County
.org. Yes, that's correct. And our main phone number is 601-482-9779. 601-482-9779. And it is one of those automated things. So if you'll just kind of listen to whichever department you want to speak with, and if you can't get someone, go back and hit the homestead one because we've always got somebody in homestead.
And that's important to note, folks. I imagine there are a lot of people that just either forget or don't even know that they're eligible for a tax exemption through them living in the property that they own.
That's correct.
Do you get that a lot?
It is surprising. It truly is. And we do also try to help the military, because we've got NAS Meridian, and they're such a great attribute to our county.
Sure.
So we give them a 10% discount on parcels that they own.
Okay.
So we do try to help our military.
And of course, the office, is it located in the old courthouse or the new complex?
The new complex.
It is.
Sure is.
Oh, the door's over there. You got a nice door?
Okay. Yes, sir. We do. We actually do. We've got a beautiful door. So you walk in the very
You got to
front.
get permission to walk through.
That's right.
Oh,
But you walk in the front and straight to the back on the right is where we are. Where you get your car tax is on the left. All the money is handled on the left, and all the assessments on the right.
And when it comes to the automobile values, you're not even associated with the automobile part of it. That's a whole different department.
Yes,
Gotcha.
Sir. Collector and store Spidle.
Very good. All right. Well, Ms. Spidle will be sending out in just a few weeks those wonderful Christmas cards that she sends out every year.
Yay.
And I spoke with her shortly after I spoke with you the other day, and she's wanting to come on too and talk about some of the things. So we'll be getting her on the show as well.
That would be great.
So very good. Well, it's all about taxes. If you, let's just put it like this, folks. You never really own property. You rent it from the government.
That's right.
Yes.
And that rent
goes up.
And the rent is due every year. Now, you don't have to pay it monthly unless it's on a mortgage program. But yeah, you got to rent. You got to pay that rent. All right. Well, Ms. Hodges, I want to say thank you so much for taking time. And a big question I have is, of course, November. Is it the 5th going to be election day?
I believe so. Yeah.
If people should walk in there and they see your name on the ballot, what would you like for them to do?
Please check it. It would be wonderful. That would be wonderful. We are running and we're really excited about it and look forward to it. Mr. Rainey and I actually came in together January the 2nd of 2012 when he was first elected, and he hired me right before he was elected, and we came in together and got our boots wet, and went to classes together, and really learned a lot together. He was a great boss and mentor. And
You hadn't worked in the tax assessor's office prior to his election?
No, sir. So I've been there 13 years. I was a banker prior to that. I was in banking for about 20 years. So
okay, very
got
good.
out of banking but kept with numbers and appraisals
Either
because I
way,
love houses.
she's handling money. Well, not handling money, but dealing with figures. That's everything about it.
Yes, sir.
Well, very good. Well, and of course, I think everybody knew that if they were to run against you, then might be relying on you to show them the ropes. And it's like, yeah, right. Good luck with that running during the election. No, but it does. In all honesty, having known you for the years, it did make the most sense for you to be in that office because you do have such a grasp of what's going on and you know what to do. So
yes, sir.
we congratulate you on your run and your being unchallenged. And yes, if you do see her name on the ballot, we do want you to go vote. You will see her name on the ballot, and please check Whitney Hodges, tax assessor.
Please do. Thank you.
All right. One last question I have. This is personal, and that is, I have some commercial property downtown that we're going to be tearing down, probably 2/3 of it. And so when that happens, can I come in and apply for a tax reduction on that property?
Yes, sir. You sure can. And if you get it done before January 1st, it would go into effect for next year's tax statement.
It will happen before January 1st then.
That would be yeah, I mean, just as a suggestion.
I got to
get busy.
I got 4 sledgehammers in the car, guys.
I'm busy.
If you can hit me afterwards, we got a little something I want you to do.
Slugger.
No,
Raining too much.
no, we have it scheduled. So what used to be the just let everybody know that's the collapsed roof just off of 22nd Avenue that was Graham Transfer and Storage. That building's about to be torn down, leaving, of course, the metal structure that was attached to that building. So that's it's going to go away.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah. And so there you go. Well, thank you for answering that question. Whitney Hodges, candidate. Also, she is your tax assessor. She's serving as your tax assessor. She's running for the office, and she can answer any questions. Give her a call at 601-482-9779, or just go by the office there at the new government complex and see her. Will that work?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate it.
And that's it. You're very welcome. Glad you're here. And of course, that takes care of the show, guys.
Yep.
Tomorrow, the U.S. Navy will be on board.
Yes, sir.
So,
and Tobias Bates here.
Tobias Bates. Dr. Toby. Well, until then, folks, be sure and have a great day. And one thing we always like to say, buy local.
Yep.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.